Guys, it's Ebird Online, and it's part 3 of the first part of the tell-all. Guys, this is turning into a marathon, and today I'm going to be talking about the dumpster fire that is Statler and Dempsey. Now normally I don't talk about Statler and Dempsey, because Statler triggers me oh so much it's unbelievable. I don't talk about Statler for the same reason I don't drink water out of the toilet bowl. Yeah, so guys, what happens in this tell-all, and the interaction between the two girls, to me very succinctly sums up the whole of their relationship. Considering how much both of these girls like to talk, there really is an astonishing lack of communication. I'd like to say they're just on different pages, but guys, they're reading different books. And they're basically completely different types of people. Not only don't I see how it can last, I also don't really understand why it's lasted this long. In fact, yes I do, because they've only actually spent 2 weeks in each other's company. And during those 2 weeks, every 2 to 3 business days, there's been a relationship-ending argument. Unsurprisingly, I'm not a massive fan of Statler. I don't think there are many who are, and I think she tries quite hard to make herself not liked. It's an exceedingly rudimentary, not to mention transparent self-defense mechanism. And as for Dempsey, well, I really did want to like her. I started out liking her, but, well, it wore off real quick. But yes, as I review this tell-all, I'm going to point out their relationship issues, problem by problem. Guys, we could be here some time. But just before we get into things, I've got a public service announcement for you. Again, please don't forget to like and subscribe, all of that good stuff. Hit it, press it, smash it, caress it. Subscribe, my friends, subscribe. Also, don't forget to smash the like button and share if you know anybody else who would enjoy my acerbic wit. So without further ado, I give you Statler and Dempsey at the tell-all. So we begin with something which, well, I wish had never come to my eyes. And Shaun tells us there's an unaired piece of film that she wants us all to see. Really, Shaun? Why was it unaired? Probably for a very good reason.
Statler! I can't help myself. Take your shovel and go outside.
There's no shovel. We gotta go. I gotta go. I'm sorry. It's bad. Okay, we're gonna I have to at this point. Is there light? There's no light. Okay. Okay. Oh, God. It's like I'm giving birth to the devil.
Dempsey, how can you live like this? And so once they'd aired this uninteresting and unwarranted clip, both of the girls were laughing their heads off and they thought it was hilarious. I can scarcely believe it, but yes, they're even more easily entertained than I am. What were they laughing at? Nothing was funny in my mind. But my main takeaway from all of this is that Statler viscerally hates not having her home comforts around her. So much so that she tries to defecate into a toilet which is made for urination only. Who do you think's going to have to get the poo out, Statler? And so the girls say what their plans are for the future. And guys, I literally couldn't believe my ears. They're planning to go travelling in a camper van around Europe. Statler works from home so she can do her IT job from wherever she is. And Dempsey said she's going to be doing bits and bobs of work here and there. And guys, this is just idiocy. I don't see how this is going to work. Statler does not even like living in the trailer, which to be fair is very nice and, well, it's quite big considering it's a trailer. But they're going to be downsizing by about 2/3. But there's more than just a bit of evidence to suggest that Statler's not exactly hot about the idea.
She's been selling all of her things. I haven't sold a single thing that I own. I'm just putting it all until the last second because it's too overwhelming.
That's crazy, dude. I don't know how you're doing that. I'm really thinking about it. I'm like, I can't.
Oh dear, guys. Oh dear. It looks like that face is the face of a camping hater. She could at least pretend she thinks it's a good idea. But such is her disdain for the plan that she doesn't seem to be able to even fake it. Guys, let's keep a tally, shall we? So problem number 1 is the fact that Statler doesn't want to go on this trip. Guys, I can't even say it with a straight face. That's the first problem. Next up, problem number 2. Riley asked Statler, what are you going to do for work when you get there?
What are you going to do for work?
So I work from home, so I can work anywhere in the world.
Perfect. Dempsey, what are you going to do for work?
So I'm just going to do bits of work here and there.
Okay.
For a couple of months, I'll be the breadwinner.
Couple of months, you're going to be the breadwinner.
Yep.
Guys, she really does not look happy now, does she? That exchange was difficult to watch. But this is yet another problem. Dempsey has no idea what she's going to do for work. And Statler then very tartly said, yeah, I'll be the breadwinner for a couple of months. And by the way that she was actually saying this for a couple of months, she looked really awkward while she was saying it, but also she looked a bit bitter about it, as if she was doing it against her will. Statler, don't you know who Dempsey is? Dempsey's very likely never paid rent. She lives in a trailer and she works for one of her friends. I doubt she's got loads of really good skills. I think growing up her parents were like, I don't know if they were gypsies, but basically they travelled around in caravans and they did the fair. And so I don't exactly know if she's got any transferable skills, but I sincerely doubt it. Also, if you're moving around all the time, what kind of education does she have? Possibly not the best, although I don't know, but yeah, I don't see it for Dempsey being a big earner. But also, just a word to the wise, Statler seems to think she can work from anywhere in the world. And guys, you can clearly tell she's put zero thought into this. First problem, internet access. You're not going to have it in the van. How do you know you're going to have a secure and decent connection that you'll actually need? That's problem number one. Problem number two, how do you expect to focus on your work properly when there's two people living in a 6 metre squared confined space? And in at number three, what happens when you have to keep American time, East Coast or whatever, and every single country you go to in Europe is 6, 7, sometimes even 8 hours different to US time? Are you going to awake in the middle of the night and do your work whilst Dempsey's busy, I don't know, job searching? Girls, it's not going to work. It's hard to make shit like this work, even if both parties really definitively want to do it and there have been proper plans put in place. But when one has got no idea what she's going to do and the other doesn't even bloody want to go, you've got no chance. You haven't got a hope in hell. Anyway, after all that, guys, things take a turn for the worse. What's this?
Statler, this is a huge move. Do you have any hesitations about it at this point in your life?
A ton of hesitations. I really would like a partner who's also financially independent.
Have you girls agree on that? Like,
We talked about finances. At this point, no.
So guys, before you start judging, it's entirely normal to sell all your possessions, uproot your life, and go travelling around Europe in a camper van without first having worked out who's got what money and how finances are going to work. That's entirely normal if you're a freaking numbskull. Guys, this reaches a new low. When I was about 7, I ran away from home, and guess what I did before I ran away from home at the age of 7? Not only did I save my pocket money, but I also stole snacks, crisps, drinks, custard creams. I was both financially and nutritionally prepared. And although I'd planned very well, I was actually back home before anyone realised I was gone. But my point is this, even at the age of 7 years old, I made plans. So these two girls have inferior planning skills to a 7-year-old Ebird. Let that sink in for a moment. Anyway, the girls say they're going in 2 weeks' time, but yeah, I'm bored of dunking on this crappy trip now. On to the next focus of my ire. And that's something which I think I've established many times on this channel. I hate it when people boast about sleeping with loads of people. So it's not really the sleeping with people, it's the boasting. There's an aspect of trophy hunting to Statler's sexual exploits, which don't really suggest to me a rounded human being. It doesn't mean the person's good in bed, it just means that they're good at getting people into bed, and that again is another problem. If you're getting high numbers of people into bed, is that because maybe that you're lying, you're telling people that you've got feelings for them, which perhaps you don't have? Very possibly. It's also very objectifying, and it reduces intimate relationships to mere numbers. And it does also indicate a lack of emotional connection or commitment in the relationships. And that's what I think Dempsey should have one eye on. And guys, I'm not making Statler out to be the devil over this issue. And I've got good reason to think that she does it and boasts about it, because she seems to think it indicates she's a popular person. But well, we kind of all know amount of sexual partners and popularity isn't necessarily linked. But according to Dempsey, Statler's past doesn't bother her. But then we're treated to this.
We're sacrificing the slut out of you. We're making you holy again. Thou shalt not enter anymore.
thou shalt not
This is a
enter.
private area for me and thee.
I feel like I should be up for this.
Oh yeah, we
Maybe
can.
a little.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. Just maybe don't burn my vagina off.
Sorry,
That'd be
sorry.
nice.
And although this was done jokingly and the girls are laughing, guys, it's an issue. You know very well it's an issue. And then later on, Dempsey made Statler pick a love egg out of a bag and insert it in her vagina, to cleanse it as it were. What I found weird about this is that it came from a rather large bag of other eggs. And I find it weird beyond belief that Statler just, I don't know, popped it in. Statler, did you never consider where it had been previously? Oh, I don't know. Maybe she's just practicing bad hygiene standards for when she gets on the road. She's building up her immunity. So anyway, next up, Shaun asked Statler about all the places she's had sex in. And she's been to sex parties, and apparently at one point she had sex in a church during mass. The camera pans immediately to Nicola. He's not laughing, guys. He doesn't find this funny. Womanising playboy and king stud of 2024, Christian, said even I draw the line at a church during mass. Christian, you don't draw any lines. Women draw lines for you. As in, don't cross this one. But Nicola helpfully explained that doing this was a sin.
I think it's not respectable conversation, when you are mocking God and doing stuff like that in the church. That's, a sin that you need to ask God forgiveness on your knees.
So guys, I've got to say, this was super disrespectful, but back to my main point. Nico didn't need to know, the audience didn't need to know, nobody needed to know except for you and the person you were having sex with. Again, it's the boasting for me. All that story really tells me about you, Statler, is that you're disrespectful as all hell. Although if I was Statler, I would have said to Nico, the church doesn't recognise lesbian love. So therefore, nothing really happened. That would have been my clapback. Anyway, next up there's another problem. And guys, I've got to tell you, Black Cloud has got a rival for most miserable bitch this season. On walks Statler's friend. And so her friend Natalie was welcomed to the stage, and she very quickly explained that she was worried about Dempsey because she thought she wasn't as into Statler as Statler was into her. Natalie, my love, nobody's into Statler as much as Statler is into them. Statler is a stage 5 clinger. Let's have it right. But it's this next part that made me know that Natalie is the same kind of hating MF as Black Cloud, because Jasmine asked the following.
So what makes Dempsey special?
I'm not 100% sure that Dempsey is special, to be honest.
And so Dempsey just sat there and her eyes widened, and then she said, her opinion's invalid to me. And the truth be told, guys, her opinion's invalid to me as well. She's never even met Dempsey. What's the point of coming on TV and flapping your gums negatively about a person you've yet to meet? Oh shit, I kind of do that for a living. But guys, you know what I mean. So anyway, Natalie became all aggy over what Dempsey said.
Yeah, that felt maybe a bit on the aggressive side, to be honest. I mean, I'm very supportive of Statler, so I don't know about my opinion being invalid. I'd like to think it matters what I think.
My love, your opinion's not valid. It never has been, and I can't foresee that changing anytime soon. This girl's 100% hater. She hates in a pure and authentic manner. But then something tells me, guys, that Statler's been slagging off Dempsey to this friend Natalie, because Statler sort of co-signed a little bit what Natalie was saying. And guys, good grief, I would not like to get on the wrong side of Dempsey. Her face turned to stone.
Dempsey, how are you feeling right now?
Me?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, you look super annoyed right now, Dempsey. We need you to be honest.
She's just like this with people sometimes.
No, I'm not, Statler. Don't try and make excuses.
Statler, what do you expect? Your friend's just come on here, told us she's not special, and coated the life out of her. You're quite lucky that she's quite refined, because I would lyrics the shit out of that bitch, I really would. Absolutely despicable behaviour. Guys, this Natalie's got me all hot under the collar. And so then Statler said, we've got really bad communication problems, we know, and I think we could benefit from couples counselling. Right, guys, let's get this straight. They've known each other in the flesh for about 2 or 3 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, they're leaving their respective homes and lives to live in a tiny camper van, whilst travelling around countries that they can't even speak the language. What could go wrong? Sounds like a dream. Now we hear that the relationship's in such a bad state, they need couples counselling. If you need counselling within the first 3 minutes of your relationship, you just shouldn't be together. It's not rocket science, kids. And so anyway, the final problem for this mismatched couple is of course the question of kids, which nearly finished the relationship during the season, if you remember. Statler was adamant that she did not want kids. Dempsey was adamant that she'll be a mum one day, come what may, and she definitely wants kids. But when Shaun asked them about it, Statler said, oh, we're on the same page now. I don't know if I want kids, and neither does Dempsey. Guys, this is absolute bullcrap. They're both still sticking to their positions, but they both believe that they can change the other one's mind. And as we know, Statler was adopted when she was a child, and she had a really awful childhood. And so I'd imagine her reasons for not having kids are pretty, I don't know, strong-held. And Dempsey, you can't just get pregnant by accident, so I pretty much figure Statler's going to win this one. But guys, as per usual, Shaun didn't dig into this properly, and she didn't really seem to get to the bottom of it. Natalie said one thing which was correct. She said previously they both had very strongly held beliefs, and this is a sort of fundamental difference that a relationship cannot overcome, and she's correct. And I'm going to give the final word to Natalie as well. Guys, is it just me, or does Natalie have a crush on Statler?
I mean, I think she already knows this, but I would just say take good care of her. She has just the best heart. And I love her, and she'll give you the world. Just take good care of her.
Thank you.
Yeah, Natalie, my love. You're dead to Dempsey, and she doesn't look like the kind of girl to change her mind. And so that's everything for Statler and Dempsey. Guys, let me know in comments down below, what do you think is going to be the worst aspect of their little trip around Europe, imagining it goes ahead? I think the biggest problem is likely to be Statler's dodgy stomach and strange toilet habits in such a small confined space. I think that's going to be problem numero uno. Problem dos is definitely going to be money. You could really tell that Statler had the bit between the teeth when she was saying, I'll be the breadwinner for 2 weeks. You'll be the breadwinner, Statler, for as long as you two are together. From what I've seen, Dempsey has very little capacity to earn. If you're waiting for Dempsey to earn money, you'll be waiting quite some considerable time. So guys, please put your comments down below. Let me know what you think the big problems are going to be. There's quite a smorgasbord to choose from. And I'm going to get on with my next video. Guys, like I said before, you should subscribe to my channel. And also, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and press the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. Thank you so much for listening. You've been listening to Ebird Online, and I bid you good day.
You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist.